For our project on film as literature, we chose to compare The Hunger Games' Catching Fire and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Both of the films feature the use of advanced technology and its effect on society.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is the prequel to the original Hunger Games trilogy and just came out this November. The film takes place in Pan Am, where there are 13 different districts in the capital city that controls the districts. The Hunger Games all begun when the districts tried to rebel against their president in the capital. A war began, and eventually the capital won. For punishment of the rebellion, the current president decided to choose a boy and a girl from each district to fight to the death each year. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes takes us through the 10th Hunger Games and is set 65 years before Catching Fire. The film's focus is Coriolanus Snow, who is known as President Snow in the later games, and how he gets to be the cold-hearted dictator that he later is. The story delves into Snow's past and his involvement in the games as one of the first mentors to the tribute Lucy Gray. Snow struggles throughout the film with the need for power but also the temptation to run away with Lucy. It shows the tragedies he goes through and all the choices he made to set himself up to be the complex antagonist that he is.
Catching Fire is about the 75th Hunger Games, also called the Quarter Quell. President Snow announces that instead of reaping tributes from each of the districts, they'll be chosen from the previous victors of the games. He does this as a way to punish Katniss. The two victors chosen from District 12 were Peeta and Katniss. As they fight for survival, President Snow and the game workers intentionally sabotage the tributes, specifically targeting Katniss. Towards the end of the film, Katniss turns into a symbol of rebellion against the oppressive capital.
Because the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is just the 10th games, the technology is not nearly as advanced as later on, but we still get to see some uses of it. Snow writes a paper to the head game maker about all the ideas he has for the games, the first one being drones. They were used to bring supplies to the tributes like water and food. The first games took place in a small arena with just one room, making the games last only about 20 minutes. The night before the games, the arena was bombed, which caused extreme destruction and provided places for the tributes to hide and climb. These supply drops that were added made the tributes have another option, which was to try to hide and survive the longest without traveling to kill. Another use of technology was the cameras in the arena. They broadcasted every single Hunger Games to the people of the capital and in the districts. They did this to show the capital's power, a reminder of the consequences of rebellion, and the capital's ability to manipulate the lives of the district people. Toward the end of the games, the head game maker designed genetically modified snakes. They were programmed to attack people only if they didn't know their scent, and they were used during the game. The response to technology is marked by the initial feeling of relief and eventually turned to resentment. It's shown that technology is not only a means of control, but makes the characters question the morals of their leaders.
Within 65 years, technology has advanced significantly. The arena is now a giant rainforest with a beach, and this new location offers lots of hiding places, making the games last for days rather than minutes. In the arena, there are now force fields being used to keep the tributes within the bounds, holograms giving updates within the arena of who's alive and who's dead, and killer monkeys. The Capitol shows its power by having surveillance systems everywhere, watching the arena and the people in the districts. These cameras create an environment where every single move is known by the Capitol. Throughout these difficult times, the main characters, Katniss and Peeta, show resilience and adaptability navigating the challenges set in front of them.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes shows how the impact of technology depends solely on its application. At the beginning, President Snow shows his strategic use of technology as a good thing. He wants to do everything to help his tribute, Lucy Gray. When she was cornered by other tributes during the games, he decided to send multiple drones of water to Lucy, causing them to swarm the other tributes and give her time to run away. On the other hand, Dr. Gall uses the technology as a form of torture. We first see her genetically modified snakes when she presents them to Snow and his partner from the university. She drops the paper that Snow wrote about the games into the snakes and says whoever wrote it and wants to take credit for it needs to reach in and grab it. Snow's classmate claims it was her and reaches in and the snakes attack her. Dr. Gall explains that she just didn't want someone working under her that steals ideas. Snow demonstrates again his need to help Lucy Gray when he realizes the snakes are being put into the arena to end the games and kill all the tributes. He is aware of how the snakes work, so he drops a cloth with her scent on it so they will not attack her. Snow's application of technology also shows his character development throughout the film, as he eventually uses the Jabberjays to expose his best friend's plans of rebellion and cause his murder. The danger of technology is shown in the manipulation of it by those in power, using it for personal gain and torture. Snow's application of technology also shows his character development throughout the film, as he eventually uses the Jabberjays, which are birds used to record conversations, to expose his best friend's plans of rebellion and cause his murder. The danger of technology is shown in the manipulation of it by those in power, using it for personal gain and for torture.
The direct threat and danger is within the application of the technology, not necessarily the technology itself. The Capitol uses technology as a way to maintain control over the districts and manipulate the games. In the arena, when the game makers thought that the tributes were too far away from each other, they would throw in things like tsunamis, electric storms, blood rainfalls, and poisonous fog just to get them closer together for a more entertaining show. Katniss, being aware of what the Capitol is doing and how they are manipulating the games, decides to take a stand. To do this, she shoots an arrow into the force field, destroying the entire arena and disrupting the games. This shows a shift in power and her using the Capitol's own technology against them. The differing applications of technology by characters like Snow and Katniss show conflicting power dynamics, rebellion, and technology being used as a tool of both oppression and resistance.
In comparing the films, a distinct contrast in their tones of hope and pessimism becomes noticeable. Both narratives rely heavily on Snow and his desires. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes shows hope as mentors from the Capitol try their best to keep their tribute safe. We also see hope for Snow as he falls for Lucy Gray and tries to do anything to help her. His character development during this film affects the lives of the characters in Catching Fire as he turns from a desire to help to a need for power and control. This causes Catching Fire to have a more pessimistic tone, with the Capitol deliberately trying to sabotage and kill the tributes, and Snow personally targeting Katniss because she has the same qualities as Lucy Gray. They also began forcing everyone in the districts to watch the broadcast of the games to make it more popular. This was even more devastating for the districts as they had to watch their loved ones go through the games.
At the time of production for both films, from 2012 to 2022, there were growing awareness of social and economic inequalities within the United States, as well as discussions of invaded privacy and mass surveillance for citizens. Both of these events could have an effect on the general themes and concerns within the films. Pan Am could also be seen as mirroring North Korea, both of them having controlled access to information and technological advances being limited to the elite.
After examining Catching Fire and the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, we see how the role of technology affects societal dynamics. The danger is not just the existence of technology, but its application by the Capitol using it as a tool of oppression. Each film offers a different perspective on the implications surrounding the advancement of technology in a dystopian society.
That was our analysis on the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Catching Fire.
Thank you!